Welcome back to the Titanium Hangar. This is Mike, and I'm coming at you with another video. This time, I'm going to tell you why Masterpiece Transformer KOs are no longer. It's over. It's end. That's it. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to talk about a few things in this real quick. I'm going to talk about sellers that you usually find KOs. I'm going to talk about the lead time between an official release and the KOs showing up. And I'm going to talk to you about a couple of items that don't quite fall into that just right. And I'm going to talk to you about why it's such a big deal, why it even matters. But I got a little bit of proof here. So for the last 6 months, I've been watching the KO market pretty close because of all of the stuff going on with Hasbro winning these suits and the Transformers KOs and getting them taken off the market, having the product destroyed, people serving jail time due to the KO stuff. It's serious. And I started noticing that you're not seeing any new KO stuff show up. So, yes, you see new KO stuff show up like MP-10. MP-10 is a retired mold. MP-10 is a mold that's still out there. There's still some stuff coming for MP-10, but it's a retired mold. They made the gold one. I don't think the car is worried about that anymore. So there's the KO oversized Wheeljangs of the world. You've got the Black Mambas of the world. And I think that Takaro's okay with oversized. KO oversized stuff is fine because, well, the Masterpiece line is a 12-inch line, for those of you who don't know. And then they decided to change it to a 9-inch line at the very early parts. So those of you who came along late in the cycle, like 2000, I think 8 or 2006 or something like that, you're used to the 9-inch size. But if people that have been collecting since the beginning know that Masterpiece is 12-inch line, which I think part of that is why they're okay with the KO oversized. There's no retaliation for that because it really is a 12-inch line, and letting somebody actually carry on the way it started is a good idea, and I like that. But getting into those are the exceptions to the rule of the KOs. Now, I started with KOs in the beginning because I thought the Carbots were too small, and I had an MP-10 12-inch figure. You get a Carbot come out at 5.5 inches or something like that, maybe almost 6 inches, and it's literally half the size, and it costs exactly the same as what MP-01 costs. MP-01, the tall one, costs $60 at Walmart. I know $200 if you decided to buy it and import it from Japan, but if you get one in the US for $60, and then now you're importing these other Carbots for $60, it didn't make sense to me, and not with 1 ounce of die cast in them. Didn't make sense to me. So, okay, KO for $30, I could live with that, $35 or whatever back then. And I think that in the beginning, the KOs weren't that great of quality. Fast forward to today, where you have Trax came out as a better quality. The KO of the Ultra Magnus is of higher quality. There's some argument about higher quality in MP36 with the 5 different MP36s. So this is the beginning of the evidence and the proof that this is the end of the KO. There's 5 different versions of the MP36 out there. 5 versions of MP36. There are 2 cell-shaded versions I know of, and maybe a third. So this is like either 5 different companies and they're making different ones or whatever. And they're sold out at reputable sellers. Now, I'm saying reputable Chinese sellers. There's no reputable U.S. seller that will carry KO product. And I know that it's kind of a mess when you go to Sir Toys because they leave everything on they've ever carried. To find out if it's still in stock is really hard. It just takes a lot of time. And I don't order from Sir Toys, so I can't speak to whether I even trust that site. I know a lot of people live and die by that site, so I'm pretty sure it's a pretty safe site. But I can't attest to it. TF Direct, Show Z, those are good ones. A lot of people get confused. And when I say confused, they have absolutely no idea what they're talking about when they say, well, this KO, I can get a KO for $50, a KO MP36 $50. You can give this on eBay. You can't count eBay at all because there are 400 MP36 items. The first 30 are just little add-ons. You know, the first 30 in the price range. Then it gets into the 50 to 100 from China. And of those, there's about 100 of those that are $50 to $100 from China, and of those, only 3 of those would actually show up to your house. The other 97 are going to be cases getting opened. And I know this because I had 17 cases open last year in 2018 on Chinese sellers that wouldn't go through. And so, and I got my money back. But, you know, if the thing is, people buying a KO or a $50 KO is because they can't afford a $200 one. I understand. But does that mean that you can afford to throw $50 at something on eBay and then 2 months later fight to get your money back? Because it does say on there. I could go through and make another video if you guys like how to identify the fraudulent sellers on eBay because of runoff. I can do a video on that if you guys like. But what I'm saying is you can't count eBay. Because what's in there, I found maybe 5 out of 400. I found 5 legitimate items in there that are worth buying, and it may still go rogue. They can go rogue at any minute because they sell their accounts. There are sellers over there. But so I'm looking at TF Direct. TF Direct is sold out of MP36, and then you also have what is that? No, TF Direct has one on clearance, and Show Z is sold out. So that's what I'm talking about. They have not gotten replenished. They've been getting replenished with all these old ones forever. And if you also look, it's drying up on those all those earlier ones too. The market is drying up. Now I'm going to link down below some trusted Amazon KO sellers. If you care about KO, want to get something, you know, half price. Now all my KO bots, most of my KO bots that I bought early on, I have bought officials, and I was happy because I've got the official because it is better quality until you hit tracks. Tracks, the MP tracks is where the quality changed in KOs. So there's a big difference in that. The next thing I want to talk about is the fact that the timeline on when these things are released. So early on, it was taking 6 months for something to get KO'd. So you get let's just say you get a prowl pop out. 6 months later, there's a KO prowl just everywhere. The same thing happened with the Sci was first. Then there was that one, and then we got into Wheeljack, and Wheeljack took 6 months, like right at 6 months, till it started getting available. But then you look at, like, I didn't really care or pay attention to MP10 because I wanted an official MP10, and I went after it, and I also didn't think they would KO MP10s, which they do now like crazy. I didn't know that was going to happen. And I actually didn't know they were going to KO MP36, and MP36 took 10 months. And then after MP36, you got MP39, which is Sideswipe. Sideswipe took 10 months. But here's the funny thing. Cordon or whatever is the exact same mold but SUNSTREAKER and a Cordon, which I didn't know that they were two different characters. I just thought it was a repaint, whatever. But that thing hasn't been KO'd yet. Okay, so how come that hasn't been KO'd yet? Because that thing came out during a time when the climate right now, where the political climate in China, where it is illegal to KO stuff, and you have Takara bringing Hasbro on with their legal team to go after KOs. And that's why. That's the only reason they're pairing. They don't need Hasbro for distribution. Because this stuff's not going to distribute at Walmart or Target. MP44 is not going to be at Target for $450 with Hasbro's name on it. Takara's manufacturing every one of those MP44s. It's going to be the same packaging, the same voice chip, and there's going to say, quote-unquote, Hasbro distribution in stores in the U.S. It's going to be in online stores, by the way. And so that MP44 thing is solely so they can go after anybody with that giant legal team. And Hasbro's already had success winning. They're going to have success winning at this and shut it down and have all that product destroyed. And that, I'm not saying that I'm against KO, because I've got KO. But what I'm saying is it's over. The writing's on the wall. I don't know if you guys see this. The other thing, have you seen a plus version KO pop out yet? No, you have not. And some of those have hit the 6 month time frame. Have you seen, I haven't seen any KO stuff coming out yet. You're not going to see it in MP44. You're not going to see it for Bumblebee. You're not going to see it for Hound if we ever see Hound. That's where we're at. It's over. Like, subscribe, let me know what you think. Put your feedback down there. Tidarium Hanger out.